up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away.
Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is our pro gamer Mike.
Third time's a charm, baby.
You dick. And our retro aficionado Unoclay.
You know why I'm playing this. You know I'm playing this. Because motherfucking Nintendo is back, bitches. And we just went R-rated podcast. What's up, Matt?
Dude, I was like, I know this song, but it sounds 8-bit. And then I was like, oh, we are the champions. But I was like, what Nintendo game is that? My first thought.
It's Super Punch-Out when you win at the end.
Yeah,
no one's really played the game, so it's pretty secret.
Yeah. You know, the secret worlds, that have real music. Nintendo totally gets away with it because nobody could get to them, and that's why they didn't get sued.
Exactly.
Nice. How you guys feeling?
Right.
We're Nintendo fans. It's a good week to be a Nintendo fan. Like nothing but love in the universe for us this week. I'm feeling great. How about you guys?
Oh, it's great. The funny thing is that I'm the only one that's played Mario, and I only got it today.
We're a great Nintendo podcast.
Yeah, up to date.
Mike, you didn't get Mario yet?
No, I got it with the gold coin from Best Buy. It's actually, I'm looking at it right here on top of my PlayStation 4. I've been like, I threw it in it just doesn't work. I can't find the cartridge slot.
It's been so long since you turned on your Switch, you forgot how to put a game in it. That's just a sad state of affairs for a guy on a Nintendo podcast. But we're here to help. We're here to help. We'll explain it all later on the podcast. So Matt, you did play what is apparently the greatest game of all time. You played it.
Yeah.
You're here to on it.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, usually when I start new games before the podcast, it's like, oh, I started like an hour before it's the game the podcast is recording. I guess I'll have no impressions. But no, I've actually played a couple hours of it. And gotten through a couple of they're called kingdoms. They're basically levels. I don't know why they call them kingdoms. Whatever. I guess it's because it's open. But yeah, I don't know. It's great so far. The controls are something I'm still getting used to. Not because it's like bad or anything. It's just because Mario has like a lot of more movement options. Like one thing he can do like a ground pound jump, which is you ground pound and you jump. But the
Never heard of it.
Yeah, a lot of stuff new to this game. But one of the more interesting things is you can throw out a cap. You can throw out Cappy in midair and then do like a jump in the air and then bounce off of the cap.
Oh man!
And then, throw it again, and I think you gain a little bit more distance on the second throw as well. So trying to time jumping on the cap in air is actually hard because it doesn't give you a lot of time to hit it. Because what you can do is if you throw out a cap, you can throw it and then, it comes back relatively soon. Or you can hold it, or you can throw it out and then hold the button and it'll stay there for a couple of seconds. But you can't hold it in midair because you need to press the same button again with ZL to do it. So you have to as soon as you throw it out, you got to press it again and do it. And but when you get it, it's really satisfying. And you can actually gain a good amount of vertical distance, surprisingly enough.
When you describe that, the difficulty of learning to do it, it reminds me just a little bit of Arms with the cop and the dog character, where you have to learn to use the dog as your launching pad to get his special move is partly that, and it's really hard to get used to doing and lining up your character. I mean, it's different obviously, but it reminds me of that because it's hard because you have to do so many things at once to make it happen that you're just I'm always missing that jump and losing that advantage or whatever. Yeah, just reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, and you can also roll on the ground. So if you jump in the air and then fall, you can hold the crouch button and press Y, which is the main attack or the main button you use, and just start rolling around. So you can chain a bunch of different movement different moves together to really gain distance. It's just fun to use it that way, but it'll
Nice.
take some use to. I'm actually
is it?
playing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm actually playing with the motion controls because I thought it would be cool. If you play with the motion controls, the other thing that I have that takes a bit getting used to is when you throw out the cap, it doesn't go where you toss the Joy-Con. It goes in the direction Mario is facing. So if you're like facing one way and then like tossing another, it still goes the same way, which is a little confusing. But
that does sound
No.
confusing. I can imagine what you mean. The convention of like the way the game would work is a little different than you'd expect. I gotcha.
yeah.
Wait. Is the rolling like Gong Country rolling, Gong 64 rolling, Sonic the Hedgehog? Or,
That's what I was imagining the Donkey Kong roll when he said it.
Pretty
Link.
like I'd say Donkey Kong just because like it's not going to be as fast as Sonic.
like
of course,
DK64, like when you hit ZB and he has that kind of good roll, but doesn't have to go continuously, or is it like super continuously country style?
Yeah, I know what he means. Like you just keep jamming the button. And
you can keep pressing like the button and keep rolling.
Oh, so, okay,
Yeah.
Mario wants to be Sonic now.
Yeah.
Cool, that's cool.
I don't know what car you're talking about. Don't you mean Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic,
Cool.
and Mario. No, yeah, that's cool. So, does he go fast? All this other stuff. All these color cool phrases. No, but really, how's rolling compared? Like, there's triple jump. Is there the Super Mario 64 like long jump and all that? Like basic stuff. AKA not really spoilers because the second I touch my controller, you can find this out.
Yeah, I don't know. Rolling goes like decent speed. Also depends like the ground you're on, because if you're going up a hill, like rolling, you'll just roll backwards. So like
Does
it
he have
follows
a long
gravity.
jump?
But
I was genuinely curious when you mentioned that. Does Mario have the long jump in this one?
yes,
Okay.
it's basically everything from Super Mario 64 and Sunshine, but a couple other moves.
Oh, okay, but no crappy water thing and terrible.
Come on.
Got it.
Wait, water thing?
Awesome flood, you mean?
Or whatever it is.
Bad, awesome, super fun flood. I hope you meant.
Oh,
right?
oh yeah, yeah. Obviously, no flood.
See, they're like, you know what? We could ruin this. Miyamoto walked in the office and he's like, guys, you guys remember Flood? And then you're like, get out. All right, you're gonna ruin this perfect game. All right, a true Super Mario 64 sequel. All right. So we got saved from insider.
Well,
information.
there is a reference to it in the game.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah.
No
Whoa. What are you doing with those spoilers,
There's
bro?
well,
Right?
all right, I
No
guess I won't
spoilers.
say more.
Yeah, no spoilers.
It's not like a huge surprise or something. It's in one
You're
of the trailers.
already spoiling.
No.
Spoiled that. Yo,
It's in
you're
the
saying
it's in
Mario
one of the
is-
trailers already.
I don't watch trailers, bro. There's spoilers in trailers.
Which is good.
Matt's head is exploding right now. He's like on a Nintendo podcast with two guys who don't watch trailers, and let's get this straight. Don't want spoilers for a Mario game.
For the the plot though. All right,
No, here's the kicker, Unoclay. It's a Nintendo podcast where most of the people don't want to talk about Nintendo.
No,
yeah. All right, guys. Okay, so for me, I came back from Comic-Con. I got a job for this Overwatch thing. Forget Nintendo right now. So.
Oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. I had something funny to add to that, but I mean, I genuinely want to know. Like, the reviews are through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
The hype is real. I am completely sincere when I started out by saying like it's a great time to be a fan and we should treasure these moments because we all know the ups and downs of being Nintendo fanners. There's great times and there's low times and it comes and goes, and that's kind of the most awesome part about it. Like all those other systems can bite a meat sandwich, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
thanks, Johnny 80s over here. Okay, now.
But seriously, is this game that good? Because I mean,
Yes,
people are saying
it is. I don't even have to play it, and I know. Okay?
He's like, I haven't even taken off the shrink wrap. I just looked at it and I knew it's a 10.
Cappy coin, and I already know it's the best. All right.
So Matt, really though, like, is it this good? Is the hype real, or should we like?
Dude, okay, wait, I can explain. Man. You have to say a word, okay? My friend, who's a huge Xbox and PC fanboy gamer who has a Switch, cannot stop playing this game, and he just screenshots to me, and I have to block all the text all the time. And he goes, "This game's so good." Okay, like that's how good it is.
That's good. When it breaks through to that other side, that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So if it could do that, I mean, Unlike
that-
unlike overrated Breath of the Wild, which just gave us that first step, but then people realized that first step there's gum on the ground.
I don't know those people you're talking about. I was gonna say it's like Zelda all over again, but I mean, like really, but Matt,
but actually good.
Matt, like let's make a side note here. You know, we need to make a recording where, like, in a very dead serious voice, you have like a clip you can insert that says, "Please note, the opinions expressed by Mike or other members of this podcast do not represent the opinions of everyone on this podcast."
I'm just, I mean, the voice of reason has to return, all right? So you guys tell each other little lies, and then you believe them, all right? Until the truth comes slamming on you guys.
My God, the truth is here, and its name is Mike. All right, Matt.
There
really,
we go.
Matt, really,
Thanks for the episode title. Also,
right? turn it real though. Like, should we turn down our expectations, or should we like expect it to be as good as we're hearing? Because I mean, the hype is so high. Like, I cannot believe it reading these reviews. It's just like, holy crap! Like, not all these reviewers can be like biased Nintendo fanboys like us, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't know. I always say be wary of things because Skyward Sword got like a bunch of 10s, and that definitely doesn't even deserve a 10s. I'm like, I liked it, and I would give it a 7 at like best. But 7, right? Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm asking. That's why.
I don't think I've like played enough to make a whole judgment on the entire game. So I'll just list like some of the levels I did play. The Cappy's like village, whatever it's called. I think it's Bonneton, whatever. Irrelevant. It's like the tutorial level. They're pretty short. Oh man, I don't know if I should say whatever.
I don't want to hear about the levels.
It's in like one of the trailers.
I want to hear. I want to hear if you think the review scores.
objectively good. Mario games are usually reviewed with some malice because he's so popular. I mean, Sunshine didn't do that good. You know what I mean? Like, review wise, and people were like, "Oh, it's underrated," blah blah blah, even though it's not. But I mean, Zelda usually gets like that kind of crap because everyone and their mom thinks they love Zelda like the most out of everybody. Like, that's like the most basic thing. Like, because like even people like who would just play like Call of Duty all day are like, "Oh yeah, I know Zelda," and you're like, "Oh, Mario's whack." You know, they'll always say stuff like that. So sure. I feel like Mario reviews are way more honest. Right?
I can see what he's saying. Like, so Matt, what we are asking you is like, based on the hype, do you think it's okay if you're wrong in the big picture? I mean, if you say no, for real, like you just played a little bit, that's a good disclaimer. But like, you're like, if you had like the way like a lot of review sites now do like an in progress review, if you had to score it now kind of thing, like where are you at with this? Is the hype real, or is it like, maybe it's a little overblown, but it's still an amazing game, or something else? Like, where are you at?
Gosh.
Like, you're so Canadian. You don't want to give it a score.
That's because I only played like 2-something hours of it. I want to say. Actually,
Matt,
I don't
you
know
already say it's the best game ever, and you want to hang up on the podcast. I get it.
I'll just say so far it's great. If I were to compare it to Super Mario 64, I'm hoping it has more like main. I don't know what you want to call them, missions or quests. Like if you call a star, let's say a star is a quest. So far, I would like more main quests in Odyssey that like have more of a purpose. But this is something I've also heard in reviews, and I'm like seeing it while I'm playing gameplay or while I'm playing the game. So I would have liked that, but I don't know. The worlds are also like varied enough so far that maybe that won't be so big of a problem. It looks like you can also beat the game fairly quickly, which is another thing I've heard. Basically how the story works is to progress to another kingdom, it says, you have to reach like this threshold of moons, and let's just say there's a lot of moons, and a lot of them can be found pretty quickly. So
they're like the green stars in Galaxy 2. I mean, I like those because it's like, all right.
Yeah,
so
I would. I would say the moons in Odyssey are pretty much like star coins in like a new Super Mario Brothers game,
Okay.
where it's kind of like hidden within the world. And some of them are challenges, and some of them are just hidden. And other ones are like have more of a quest kind of feel to it. So there's a lot of different variety in that sense of what you have to do to actually find different ones. But yeah, I don't really know where else I was going with that point.
All right, no, it's cool. You've given a good impression. I mean, like you said, you haven't played a lot of it, but you're generally positive on it, which is not shocking.
For reference, I guess I've played the first 3 levels, if you don't count like the tutorial Cappy world, because that's not really a level.
Okay. So, well, okay, sounds good, man. I mean, like it's cool. You can report back. You know, I'm sure we're gonna have Eli come back from. If the listeners are wondering where Eli, one of our regular panelists, is, he is actually at a Dr. Mario tournament this week, and we're hoping he comes with some great tales that he can tell on the air when he gets back. So we'll leave it at that. But he'll probably come in here with lots of opinions about Mario, and like we were joking, me and Matt were joking, he'll probably have beat the game, sold it, and have a story about how you can hack Best Buy's website to get a half price return.
They get 3 Mario Odysseys for the price of 1.
Yeah. What we expect nothing less from Eli when he comes back. So, but good luck to him at the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Like, I can't wait to get it. But like for the listeners, if they care at all, which they don't, because I'm just some guy on a podcast, I don't even have a copy of it yet. And I was really tempted because here in Philly this weekend, we had like a humongous rainstorm, like all day Sunday, like torrential downpours. It was the perfect day to like start a new video game. Like that you're like, it's crappy outside, it's Sunday, it's chill. I should drive to GameStop and buy this Mario game. And I kept thinking about it a little bit, but I pushed it away because I'm like, nope, I'm saving it for winter. I don't know why. I just feel like I have too many games to play right now, and I should save it for when I'm ready for it, because it sounds like it's a truly A+ experience from the reviews. So, I'm looking forward to it. And it's like, it's great. You know, a game's good too, or it's really hot. Like when I have like about 50 friends on Switch, and when I turn on my Switch and I see like it light up and say there's like 15 people online, and I go to look at what people are playing, and literally every single person is playing Super Mario Odyssey, like every single one, like in a row on my screen is like Mario Odyssey. And like I've seen that happen a couple times before with games on like Wii U and stuff like that. And you know, it's a big game. Like I remember Mario Kart 8 when it came out on Wii U was like that. It was like my whole friend list, like everybody's playing the same game all at once. And you're like, that's awesome when you see that, you know? So, you know, it's a good game. So
I was actually lucky I got it today. I ordered it, and then I forgot. Apparently I could have chose like a better shipping for free, but I didn't realize it when I pre-ordered all my stuff. And I was like, oh great, it's not coming until like November 2nd to 6th. That sucks. So I was waiting, and I saw my status on my order was like shipping now, and that was like, I forget what night, maybe Friday night or something. And then Saturday, like midday through Saturday, I'm like, it still says shipping now. I'll message Amazon, see what's up. That doesn't make sense. Why would you say shipping now and it's still like saying shipping now 12 hours later? So I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, this doesn't really make sense. Just curious what this means. And they're like, okay, here you get free expedited, or you get free priority shipping. It'll come on Monday. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I just wanted to, I was just curious, and you just gave me free shipping for nothing.
Sounds like something I'd do. Except purpose.
Yeah.
No, it always seems like this is an old meme almost in this podcast. It always seems like you have that problem with like a game you pre-ordered and saved money on, then you don't get it for like 3 or 4 days, and you're always like, always in that.
I bitch so much about it. It's because I don't get the extra shipping or whatever. Because I'm like, oh, I'll just get the regular shipping because I don't want to pay for it, and then I'll hope that it comes the day of.
Yeah.
Of course it doesn't. I was actually trying to think if I actually have ever gotten something with regular shipping and it came the day of, but I don't think it is. I think I forgot that I had Amazon Prime with my other games and whatnot, like whether it was as a student or just like a free trial, and that's why I got things on release. And then I was like, oh, right, I don't have that anymore. Crap.
Oh gosh.
And then it gave me the release date. I'm like, oh shoot, I should have fixed that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. I'm still like for new games, I go to the store. I'm still like that. I'm just like, no. It's like it's so rare that I buy like a brand new game in a box, like from a store, that it's like it's almost like a rare experience for me. I'll just drive to GameStop and like get it, like even though that's like a half hour of my life I'm not getting back, it's like whatever, so,
I know
whatever.
it's like so close. It's like you could just go to the store or you could save $30 and wait. So it's
that is a lot of money.
That
like that's
hurts.
Yeah. For the listeners who might not know, it's like that's partly because of your geographic location, and like you can save a lot by doing shipping, whereas the rest
I thought you could have made a good Geico joke.
You could have saved $30 or more by not being Canadian, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, that's that would, because to a lot of people be like, what are they talking about? Like, how can you save $30 by mail order it? And it's like,
it was also like an E3 deal or whatever, like pre-order get 20% off and all that stuff.
Sure.
But I've talked enough. I'm sure everyone is enough hearing my dumb voice. Mike, what have you been playing, if you have, besides the game of life?
Yeah, so I just finished Danganronpa V3 for the PS4. It's one of them Japanese visual novels, you know. So that weeb shit, it was pretty good story. I don't know. I mean, I like the series, and I can't give away anything because it's all about the surprise. So I enjoyed it for whatever it was. Like, good game, not amazing, but like still pretty good. Like plot wise, I enjoyed it until like the end. I don't know. The end is really hit or miss. And then
I was gonna say I actually watched a video on someone not reviewing but like analyzing that game in particular, and they talked about how they added perjury for Unoclay. It's basically like a court
you can lie
system.
now.
Yeah. What'd you think of that? Because apparently that's like a new mechanic to the series.
It was super trivial. Like, I don't want to say it was mundane, but it was just like, I mean, no, it wasn't like you could just be like, oh, I'm gonna choose this lie and everyone will believe it. Like, if you lie and hit the wrong side anyway, you're still like, it's still the same as trying to rebuke a truth. So it's kind of just baloney. It's just the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna lie, but you're just lying against like another lie or agreement rather than just shooting down people's lies. So it wasn't really. Well, I don't think it was that great of an addition. You know what I mean? It wasn't like game breaking, game changing. It was still the same core game overall. So
yeah.
I did beat the Uncharted DLC. Got that young plat, that Lost Legacy, and I sold that ish back. It was not bad. Way better than Uncharted.
That's the one with Claire. I forget what the heck her name is.
Chloe Fraser.
Chloe, whatever. I haven't played Uncharted games.
I mean, she's total waifu in number 2, Uncharted 2, and she's super hot. And all the British people love her. That's why that game sold well, because they all love Tomb Raider. She's like better than Tomb Raider. I forget how much it cost. It was like a $20 or $30 expansion or whatever. Like, I just got the disc version because digital's a crime. And so yeah, no, I picked that bad boy up, ran through it. I picked it up a while ago, didn't open it up. Then it took me like 2 weeks to get that plat, sold that back, and I was like, wow, Uncharted 4 is terrible. So this is pretty good. But this game still adds compared to the other Uncharted. So that's all I could think about.
So better than 4, but not as good as 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, this is just 4, but it's shorter and better because 4 is garbage. Let's see. Then I have the shitty-ass Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but I think I talked about that. That game is terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Is there anything been good? I've been playing that Overwatch like usual. Hit that diamond this season. I feel like there's another game I'm forgetting to talk about. Quick. Throw games at me. That are not
came
recent.
out in the last week.
2 weeks. So what did I play? I feel like I played games before. I mean, You guys know I played Destiny and Marvel. Marvel's so bad, dude. All right, Destiny 2 wasn't that bad. I picked up Mario Odyssey, totally chilling in the corner. Oh, yeah, I played DBZ at Comic-Con. That was cool.
Oh, cool.
New Dragon Ball Z Fighters game. It was pretty awesome, dude. I mean, I only got to play like 2 rounds, and like they were like 40 seconds, and so I have no idea how the game controls, but from the little bit I played from it, it's really fun, and it looks just as cool as it seems. And the other games I kind of played and saw around were the new Ni no Kuni 2 that's coming out. I played that for a bit. It's really different from the first Ni no Kuni. Not saying the DS one. I'm talking from the PS3 one. And then I feel like there's some other Final Fantasy Square Enix thing I saw, but yeah. Other than that, like I said, I still got to get on my my Nintendo flow. So I'm trying to finish this game, get the plat, maybe get that Marvel plat, and then go back to my Nintendo flow. Like, I just kind of like was saving Breath of the Wild and Mario for like after my projects this month, so I can have like full time to beat the game in 20 minutes.
Nice. I actually wonder how fast you'll be able to beat Super Mario Odyssey. Like if someone were to speedrun it, because like the threshold is fairly low compared to let's say past games. So I don't even think you have to do like the main
2,
quests.
Because Galaxy 2 is only like 6 hours if you don't do the green stars, which
Really?
take forever. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it, like if you do it like super fast, like 6-8 hours, I think. Like, I mean, when me and Eli,
I don't think it would be that slow. I guess to be fair to Super Mario Galaxy 2, like it was more linear, so that.
Well, I mean, it's a bad game anyway. So it's
that
like,
is true. I don't know why you'd want to play it at all, let alone speedrun it.
I mean, I don't know why I would want to talk with Patrick Starr on Mario's face in his face. But from one of the best Brawl in the Family comics ever. But so, yeah, man. Other than that, dude, like I said, I'm waiting for that Sonic Forces, and then I gotta play Samus Prime, and no, I gotta play the remake of Metroid 2, and I gotta judge Superstar Saga really harshly. It's like, the GBA one is absolutely perfect, and I'm just like ready to be sorely disappointed. And then if I go back home for Christmas, I gotta play that Star Fox 2 on my SNES Mini that's just at home that I can't access because I'm here. So, yeah, the rough life, man, the rough college life.
For Zelda, you might as well wait until the DLC comes out.
Oh yeah,
supposedly it's still coming out this year. I guess we'll find out.
I contemplate deleting my file and just starting over.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, dude, I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm gonna respawn. A Guardian's gonna be like, yo, what's up, Link? I'm gonna be like, what the hell? And I'm gonna die. And I'm gonna be like, shit, that was my checkpoint save spot, obviously, because I haven't touched this game in 2 months. And I'm gonna be in an endless loop of getting zapped by the Guardian, waiting on my load spawn. Like they know, they're like, guys, he's gonna load right here. Bet you $5. All right, 5 rupees right now. All right, I'm gonna spawn on top of all the rupee bets, and then they're gonna laser me, and I'm gonna die, and then I'm gonna have to figure something out. Stupid Zelda.
So.
Good stuff.
Stupid sexy Flanders. All right.
Stupid
Nice.
sexy Guardians. Alright. Okay, what have you been playing?
Report real quick, and we can get on to news other than Mario. So I've been playing the same olds that I've been talking about for a while, but just give a little retro tip to some people out there, anyone that's listening that's interested in all this stuff that I'm always talking about or randomly talking about. I haven't gotten in depth with it because I haven't gotten it working, but I've been working on a Famicom disk system for a while, trying to get it running, that I bought in Japan. And they're famously, as I've mentioned before, finicky devices. They're a disk drive from the 80s that wasn't, from what I can tell, particularly well built, because I have like some old computers with floppy disks and they still run, and this one does not. Like they're very famous for breaking down. Like that, I knew what I was getting into buying one of these, but I bought it at a reputable store. And then I carried it all around Japan in my backpack. And, I was very, very careful with it, sincerely. But I don't know if something went wrong with it, or if it was just not in good condition and the store ripped me off, or maybe it was good when they sold it to me, but it just isn't working right. But I've been working on it, been reading a lot of files, watching a lot of videos. I've got it all stripped down to parts, and I'm like putting it back together again and again, trying to get it working. And along that journey, I came across something, thanks to some guys that were talking to me on the Nintendo Age forums, that like I had never heard of it. And it's just a tip for anyone that's out there that like the main reason you'd want to play a Famicom Disk System are, there's a couple exclusives that like you would never be able to play any other way. So what you really need to get into it, you'd need either like a top loader NES with an adapter for a Famicom, and then you can plug the Famicom Disk System into a top loader NES. But a lot of people say that's nuts. Why would you do that? Because the second reason you would want to play the Famicom Disk System is because there's different sound channels, and it's got like expanded audio, and in fact different audio for a lot of very famous games. And I kind of talked about this before. Anyway, that's kind of the why. Why would you do this? Well, one of the guys that like a guy was doing a mod for me on a system that I was talking to him about, and he mentioned it in passing, and I was like, well, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? The solution so that you could play Famicom disk games on original hardware to some degree. There's something out there that you can Google up. It's called a Famicom. It's a Famicom stick, and I want to get the exact website right. It's the exact website is it's not popping up, of course. It is I had it, and I had to close my browser because it was
That's okay.
It was crashing right before like I tried like okay, so I'll describe what it is and then I'll tell the exact name in a second. It's like a USB stick that what you do is if you have a Famicom disk system but the disk system itself isn't working, it's like a USB stick you can plug into the disk system, because the thing that breaks on a Famicom disk system is the disk drive, the thing that actually spins the disk. Like imagine a CD player. It's the things inside that like are faulty. There's a couple different things that can go wrong, and I won't bore the audience with that, because if you're going to get into this, you're going to have to learn about it on your own anyway. But it's actually the physical moving parts that go bad. So it's this weird workaround. It's like you're not quite getting the pure experience of like original hardware completely down to the bottom like you would be if you get a Famicom disk system running, like which is what I'm trying to do, and reading from discs. It's like you're plugging a USB drive into a Famicom disk system, so it doesn't physically have to read the discs anymore. It's like you're reading ROMs from the stick into the Famicom disk system RAM adapter into the Famicom. So I know that sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook, and most people are going to say, why wouldn't I just play it on an emulator? And that's a great question at some level. What you're really doing, like since my goal is to be able to play it on a Famicom and hear the original sound coming out of the original hardware through speakers and be able to like bask in the glory of the alternate soundtracks of classic games and experience those classic games in the different Japanese format that a lot of them have like some basic, some major differences. Like this is a way to do it without losing your mind. And they're really cheap. It's I almost have it. My brain just popped and I remember. It's called the FDS stick. If anyone wants to look it up, and it's only $15 shipped. It's super cheap, and it's like a USB drive that's been modded to have a button on it, because the trick with Famicom ROMs is that you have to flip sides, and that's not something, I don't know that if emulators are super good at emulating. You have to be able to change sides, because it's literally like a two-sided CD, like a two-sided floppy disk. So yeah, like you have.
I found this while you were talking about that, and I was wondering what the heck the button was for. It's like,
yeah, it's
Wi-Fi connection. I don't know.
Yeah, it's to simulate disc flipping, because with Famicom ROMs, I've not gotten into it enough. I want to look it up sometime and learn why. But when I've gotten my disk system working, my actual real disk system, what happens is usually the game loads, and then you like log in, like it's Castlevania or it's Zelda, and you log in. Like I know Castlevania in America didn't have a login screen, but they do on the Japanese version, where you can save your game. And then as soon as you do that, you load your file. I think, this is my guess, it's saving your progress on the front side of the disk, and then you flip the disk to the back side where the actual game lives, and now it's loaded your save file into the RAM, and now it's loading the actual game and attaching your save file on side B, because then when you finish, you usually flip back to side A. Like, so that's kind of why I suspect that's the layout of where the data lives on the disk, but I haven't really dug into it because it's not that important to me right now.
Yeah.
But so anyway, the point is, if you're interested in this, you could basically buy a Famicom disk system online, as long as you either have a top loader NES or a Famicom. If you're using a top loader NES, you would need a Famicom adapter, which are like $10. It's like a port you plug into the top of your thing so that it resizes the cartridge slot for Japanese cartridges so that you have the right pinouts to plug in a cartridge. And then you would need only part of the Japanese the Famicom disk system, and you can plug that in. So you're kind of building like the Sega Tower, like the famous pictures of the Sega Tower when someone would like go the distance for Sega, and they'd have all those different, like all the ports and all the add-ons stacked up in a giant tower. You're kind of doing that with this, but I'm holding back from using it. I tested it to make sure it was working, and I got a game running on it, a game I don't care that much about. And part of my justification is like Famicom disk. Part of it is like, it's a library. I don't know how many games are in it, maybe 20, 30, 40 games in the whole library for the Famicom disk system. I'm not quite sure, but a lot of them are in Japanese, and a lot of them are like RPGs and stuff I'm never going to pay to buy because I'm not going to play them, and they're in Japanese, so I'm not going to understand them anyway. But at least I can mess around and play with them. That was kind of my justification in my mind. I was like, oh, I can play them. My goal is to get the disc system working for the games I know I want to play, like Kid Icarus, Metroid, Doki Doki Panic, stuff like that. So just a tip. I had never heard of this, and it's out there. It's $15, FDS stick. It's on a website called 3dscapture.com/FDS stick. If anyone's really interested and wants to go check it out, that's where it is, 3dscapture.com/FDS stick. And yeah, $15 shipped, and it works perfectly. And it's like, I think someone's probably hand making them, like, because it's not something you could mass produce, because it's got this button in it. Like we said, it's a USB drive with a button on it that they're repurposing to like flip disks or whatever, flip virtual disks or whatever. So it's cool. It's a solution. It's one solution, so you can kind of get the original hardware experience for some of these older games. So that's
cool.
it.
Yeah, I watched some of your videos from Japan. They're pretty cool. You went to like the pinball arcade, and there's like, I don't know, there's got to be at least 50 of them there. And then you were just going through like a bunch of different stores, and man, they have so many. They have to have at least thousands and thousands of games in that store, because you'll see like whole walls and like shelves completely jammed with these NES cartridges and all the other game cartridges, like side to side. Like you couldn't fit another possible card in there. It's insane.
Yeah, it definitely is like that. Mike, you should check it out, and anyone who's listening, I put them on I'm Unoclay on my YouTube channel. My channel's called The Green Room, so if you Google around for Unoclay The Green Room, you'd probably find it. And yeah, like like those videos aren't like anything like brilliant. They're literally just home movies, me with just a camera walking around filming.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching those, Matt, and thanks for hyping that. I forgot about that I put those up. But yeah, they're there. There's one that's like all pinball. There's one that's all like just me game shopping basically, and you can get a good visual on like what Super Potato and all the famous stores are like because you're not really supposed to film in there. I forget, I think it's in one of the videos, I got told to turn my camera off, and you can hear it if you're listening, like that you hear me saying something like, oh, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't be filming, and I'm kind of holding the camera down to the floor or whatever, because the guy came up to me and was like, nice, like all Japanese people are, but he was scolding me, like he was politely scolding me that I'm being a jerk, and like that, I guess there's probably signs that say you shouldn't film, but I didn't, I can't read Japanese, so I don't even know.
He's like, oh, you, and he had to sit hands up.
Oh, you Westerners. Yeah, but it's check it out. I like it's and I've said it before, and actually I had a couple people hit me up for Japanese like travel info already, and I'm happy to help people if they need input on like where to go, where to shop in Japan if you're going. It's a pretty easy list. It seems intimidating, but if you're at all interested in the Japanese buying scene, it's really fun, and you could spend days and way too much money, and it's fun. It's a little overwhelming. I came home with like 30 some games, and I put up a video of that too, of me just like picking up the games and going, I don't know what this game is either, but someone told me to buy it.
That was crazy. I'm like, holy shoot, you got a lot of games.
Yeah, I mean, most of them were pretty affordable because it's like buying I bought like maybe 5 games that were over $30,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe like that were over $30, and then most of them were like $10 or less. You know, that were like
not
because a lot of
just
yeah
surprise.
yeah. No, they're like a lot of the ones that you see in the video. If you check it out on YouTube, Green Room, like it's like a lot of the games I got are what we would call the commons almost, you know, in America. Like that it's like, well, these are not rare. Yeah. It's just that we've never seen them, or, you know, we just didn't grow up in Japan or whatever. So that was a lot of the guts I literally was seeking those out because I was like, well, where should I start? You know, and that was the answer a lot of people gave me. Like, these games are the good ones, and you don't need to know Japanese to play most of them. You know, you'll be able to figure it out and like mess around and get your fix or whatever. So this winter will be a busy gaming winter. I can say that. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway,
cool. So we'll move on to some news and stuff. They're kind of shorter stories, but still interesting nonetheless. Still want to bring up one thing that's not really much of a story. Guacamelee 2 is coming out, and it's awesome. And I don't know if it's coming to the Switch or anything, but Mike just messaged me on Twitter like sometime today. He's like, hey, Guacamelee 2 is coming. I'm like, what? Like, how did I not hear this? And I Googled it, and I thought he was making like a reference somehow to like some other tweet that I wasn't aware of, and I Googled it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming out. Sweet.
That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I didn't know that. That's awesome. I love Guacamelee 1. I never finished it. It's like, it'll give me an excuse to go back and finish it. I'm probably at like the final boss and like just never finished it for some reason.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. Yeah. That's a cool. Like, I would never expect a Guacamelee 2. Maybe that, like, Drinkbox, they put out a lot of stuff, so I could see that coming to the Switch. It's gonna be pretty cool.
It did come on Wii U and I think a bunch of other things as well.
So you gave me the Wii U code.
Yeah.
Drinkbox has been pretty good about supporting Switch, haven't they? Like so far.
I don't think they have anything on it.
Oh. I was confused. I think I'm thinking of another studio. I'm just confused.
Yeah. Anyway. No, they did. They had Severed. That's on Switch.
Yeah,
DS
that was
stuff.
That must have been the first one out the gate. That game has the interesting distinction of, unless you can tell me I'm wrong, of being the only Switch game that you can't play on your TV. Like that, it's like breaking the rules almost of Switch, like because it's touch based, so you have to play it handheld. Because I know that because I'm looking forward to playing it at some point. And then I was like quick reading up on it, and someone said, just be forewarned, like this is not an on TV game, you know. And I was like, whoa. I didn't think that was like allowed by Nintendo. I thought it like kind of had to be both, and apparently not, because that game is apparently like touch based or whatever. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because it is touch based. So I don't know how they'd get it to work.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard like it might be the only game that's like got through somehow, you know, like through whatever quality control Nintendo exerts on the third parties, like because I could see them being like that. We all know Nintendo's a little bossy, and them being like, well, no, you can't have that game on here. We don't want this to be like confused as a handheld system. It's got to be both, you know. And it's like, but if you can't do touchscreen,
hey Mike, can you mute if you're gonna type, just because I hear the typing's really loud.
Oh, sorry about that.
The teacher is mad at you, Mike. The teacher.
No.
Don't make me take the whip out again. Jeez. Ew.
I get to laugh because I'm not part of that equation. I'm just like,
Who says you can't be?
Well played. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. I'm super excited. Like Guacamelee 1 was so funny and so fun, and it's got that kind of like simplistic brawler plus a little bit of like depth like to it. So that's great. If people haven't played Guacamelee, you totally should. It's hilarious and it's fun, and probably doesn't take that long to play through, right? I mean,
I think it's like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Yeah, I never finished it because like I think I just played too much of it all at once and then just never went back to it. It wasn't like I didn't like it. It just kind of fell off my radar or something. So
yeah.
But yeah, fun game. Got a great upgrade system, a little bit of the Metroidvania type mentality, but like a brawler like mixed with that. So yeah, good stuff. That's cool. I did not hear that.
Yeah, like I was saying before, the second DLC pack or whatever it is, Zelda should be coming out by the end of the year, or so we're being told. Anuma came out in like a video I don't know. I don't know how the marketing, like all the different regions work, because there was a video with Enuma that was just for like Nintendo UK, but not their other channels for some reason. Even though it's not specific to them, it's like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But regardless, Enuma was saying like it'll come out by the end of the year. So we'll see if that's the case. The Amiibo launch November 10th. So I'm guessing we'll probably find out before then when the DLC comes out. And I wouldn't be surprised if they like held off just because of Mario, but I'm pretty sure it's just because they're taking their time.
Is this news because there was doubt? I mean, I'm really asking. I'm not being snarky. Like, I thought that was what they told us to begin with, that it was coming out this year, right?
They were. I was kind of doubting it because they went so long without saying much. And I mean, like, they probably don't want to show too much off because I don't know how long this DLC is going to be, and you don't want to show too much and then be like, well, this thing only takes an hour long to beat, and you showed off like 10 minutes of it. That's too much or something. But it just went like so long without any sort of info on it or like a specific date or whatever. It's like, okay, is this like happening still? No one's mentioned it ever.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I mean, for me, I'm in Super Nintendo fanboy mode. So right now I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt left and right, where it's like, I think if it was me taking a guess at why we haven't heard about it, it's because they are really, really concentrated on this, like, this master strategy of like every month or so is a new theme to what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And it was like Zelda, and then it was Splatoon, it was ARMS, and then it was Splatoon. And then it became kind of like a little bit of a lull, like, well, then Rabbids, you're right, then Rabbids, and then Mario. Yeah. And so it's like, we don't want to like confuse the audience. We want to keep this, we want to stay on target. We're going to talk about the big thing for now. And then, you know, and then we hit them with another punch the next month, and we hit them with another punch the next month. Cause like, they don't, correct me if I'm wrong, is there a big holiday game, or is Mario the big holiday game?
Sort of. So I guess you could kind of count Mario, but there's also Xenoblade 2 coming out in December.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's that.
Whoa. Did you just forget about my boy Sonic Force?
Well, apparently they're not even giving out review codes, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. And then you obviously Matt's getting his Call of Duty World at War 2. But the other stuff is multi-plat stuff like Battlefront 2.
Right.
AC Origins just came out. It does look pretty cool though.
Not for Switch, but
for Switch, yeah.
But
and
he's kind of right, because someone else
Doom coming out for Switch.
So someone else wrote on Twitter like, it's interesting because there's no big Nintendo game for November, but all the third parties are there. It's the like Skyrim, Doom. I think there's like 2 other ones as well.
And Rocket League just got announced for November for sure.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, so like, yeah, you're right. Maybe like November is like third party month, kind of in a way. And then like, but my point of all that anyway, like not to get too just sidetracked. My point of all that was saying like the Zelda plus Xenoblade plus Mario, but Zelda being the thing they're holding back on, you know. And then it's like, if they want to drop like something like December, you know, December 1st, December 2nd, just in time for Christmas, we want to look like we have something for Christmas. So even though Zelda's been out for, you know, months and months and months, we're telling you something new and exciting is here, so that like you don't. So the news story isn't, oh, Nintendo's been doing great all year, but like, what do they got for us now? You know what I mean? It's like they can point to that and say, we got like a whole nother like 2 hours to add on to the greatest game of the year. You know, 10 out of 10 Zelda's got like a whole add-on pack, and you know, so I would bet that's part of it. It's like the messaging kind of thing where they're playing the game of like, okay, now let's drop it for a while, and then we're gonna come back strong, you know, kind of thing. So, you know,
I would lean that way too. What was I gonna say?
And I personally bet it's gonna be bigger than we think. Like, I haven't gotten any of the DLC yet because I haven't, you know, made enough progress in the real game to like bother with the DLC yet. Mm-hmm. So like at some point I'm gonna get it. And if I had to bet right now, Nintendo's just been doing pretty good this year. And if I had to bet, we're going to be surprised that like the Zelda add-on is going to be like a significant add-on. Like, you know, we're not talking like 1 hour, we're talking like 3 hours of content or something like that, you know, with like a new region, or a new dungeon that is
Oh,
like
Matt, wait.
something.
Clay, you said new region, and that reminded me. Nintendo does have Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon coming out November 17th. They just put out a new trailer for it. So.
Oh, right on.
Oh,
I know that's
yeah,
big.
I guess for 3DS, yeah.
So they do have Pokemon to carry them, and well, with the other third party stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, like, 3DS is not dead, even though for a lot of people that have a Switch, we're not as interested anymore. 3DS is far from dead for a lot of people, and we just like, you know, what, 10 short months ago, 3DS was like one of the best selling toys of Christmas, you know. So, you know, and Pokemon Go has been a huge thing, you know. So I don't know, like that is a big thing. That's like, there's gonna be people that buy that, you know, like, so that's cool. Good point. Yeah.
Indeed. I was going to bring up Animal Crossing, but Eli's not here, and I don't think anyone else cares about Animal Crossing, so...
You should at least... like, did we talk about the Direct at all the other, like, last week? Or, like, we already talked about it?
Because it was, like, the day before, but...
Oh, right. Like, well, what are your thoughts? Like, let me quiz you, because you care about Animal Crossing. So, like, for the listeners who do care about Animal Crossing, which there are probably a million of them, at least 500,000 people listen to our podcast and care about Animal Crossing. So, like, what did you think? Like, what's the deal? Give me the skinny, because I really don't even know. Like, I didn't pay attention to it at all. What's up? What's up with Animal Crossing?
It looks like another Animal Crossing. It's just that it's on your phone. That's basically it. Like, I watched someone live stream it while I was like playing a game or doing something.
Oh yeah, Australia already has it, Clay. If you didn't know that.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Holy mate!
Yeah.
Blimey.
You could actually get it if you want. There's a really complicated process. Totally not worth it because Animal Crossing is Yawn City.
Yeah, but you got to get those bells, bro, and the cherries or whatever. And
I thought they get like bugs or something.
Got to collect some shells,
a
bro.
bunch of stuff.
We're just like hating on this game that Matt likes.
I don't like it. I've never even played it. That's why I said moving on, because only Eli likes it.
Oh, I thought you and Eli care about it.
No,
and like,
that's why I didn't bring it up last week, because I'm like, well, or that's why I didn't even postpone last week, because I'm like, well, I don't care about it, and Unoclay doesn't care about it, and Mike may or may not be on the podcast and doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
So
no cares at all, man.
Yeah. No, let's all pretend. Let's all say one nice thing about Animal Crossing. I go first because I thought of it. It's got a cool stage in Smash Brothers because it's like a perfect vanilla stage.
I don't know. It's got the guy with the guitar that everybody loves. KK guy.
KK
Slider. I think KK's overrated.
KK Slider, bro. See, I know.
Yeah, it's totally overrated, but you know.
That's not a nice thing.
Dude, I like people are like, yo, KK man. I'm like, Yawn City.
KK Slider kick some serious rear end, bro.
Nah.
Matt, say one nice thing and we can drop this stupid topic.
the logo for Animal Crossing is the same as my country's flag. I don't know. They're both leaves.
Wait, really? I always thought it was like a thing.
It's just Animal Crossing's is just a leaf, and ours is a maple leaf. So I mean, it's similar.
I love it. We successfully, that episode title, 3 Nice Things About Animal Crossing. No, like, that's great. What else is in the news besides dumbass Animal Crossing with KK Slider and the Canadian flag?
Yeah.
The last thing is the GameCube adapter works on Switch, and people have been able to play Switch games with their GameCube controller. And I guess some people thought like it was some sort of confirmation of Smash Brothers, but I thought they were all kind of smoking crack because it seemed more
How
likely.
did that work, though?
It seemed more likely that it was just like an accident, and then Reggie came out in like an interview later and said like, yeah, we don't know how that came about. It's an accident. And I thought, well, obviously. And then I guess people's hopes and dreams were crushed, even though we're obviously going to get a Smash Bros. Eventually.
It works for every first-party game now, right?
Yeah, I haven't looked at how it works.
Like you can play Zelda with, right?
Yeah, people played Zelda, Mario Kart,
multiplayer
Fire
Mario
Emblem Warriors, a bunch of games. The only problem is that the GameCube controller doesn't have secondary triggers like the ZL and ZR. It only has the one Z button. So in Splatoon 2, for example, you can't actually enter your squid form, which you need for the game to play it.
What about being a kid though?
But you
You
can
can be
totally
a kid all day long.
Okay,
But you can't be a
but
squid.
I can't be a squid. Yo,
No.
that's half the game.
You're a kid now, and you're always a kid now. That's how the ad's gonna go.
Mike's on fire.
Daniel.
Mike's on fire. That's half the game. Oh yeah, but I mean, like, which is the half you really care about, bro? Ask yourself that. Like, come on, I want to be a sassy kid with a sideways hat. That's why I play that game.
Yeah, true.
That's great. Matt. I'm so glad that you were a better, smarter gamer than all the rest of us, because I was one of those people that was smoking crack and was like, I definitely did not think that this was like a broken thing. And I have to be honest, I still don't really believe Reggie. Like,
so here's one big thing that tips me off, and this was like I thought it was an accident before I saw this, but basically when you plug in the GameCube adapter, it shows up on the controllers as USB rather than an actual like name for it. So if you connect a Joy-Con, it says like Joy-Con. If you have a Switch Pro controller, it says like Pro or something. If you use the adapter, it just says USB and shows like a normal controller or something like that. So it's not like it recognizes it's a GameCube adapter per se. It just recognizes that something is being plugged in the USB slot. And it just recognizes that, I guess.
Okay.
So that's really all.
Okay,
it's
so
doing.
but you can use all 4 controllers, etc. So it's cool. It's cool for the multiplayer. Oh, dude, you just reminded me. Game of the Year's coming out for 3DS. Freaking Mario Party Top 100.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why Nintendo is not promoting it at all, but
what game? I didn't hear what you said, Mike. What game?
Mario Party Top 100. I think it's just I'm excited for it because it's like, what games are they gonna put in? You know what I mean? So I could be like, oh, this game blows ass. How dare they put this in? And that's what I'm more excited about than anything else in the game. Oh, I was playing Mario Sports, the Sports 3DS game. I have that, so game's not bad. It's not good, but not bad. You know what I mean? It's pretty forgettable. So it makes me upset that Mario Party is not on. It's not going to be on the Switch. I thought it would be a great game. But yeah, that's my game of the year, Mario Party Top 100. All right, only because I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be like, oh, this thing sucks. This doesn't suck. You know what I mean?
The boards are probably gonna suck.
Oh, dude.
But the mini games at least will be there.
Only 100 games is the board. Like what the Jim Jam Flim Flam we getting? You know?
Nice. I forgot about that game coming out. No, but I might give it a look because I don't play Mario Party games at all. But like, if it's the top 100, might be worth it, you know. But I don't know. Like now that like I'm hearing more of the technical details of what you're saying about the way the GameCube controller attaches, and like that it looks like a little janky. That makes more sense. That it's like maybe it's like, you know, it's an accident by way of them like improving some kind of connectivity options for the Switch. But when we initially heard this rumor, I didn't go and try it. I didn't really research it deeply. I kind of was the person who read the headline and the one like paragraph summary on some website and was like 100% was like, this is Switch. Like,
see, Unoclay, you're what's wrong with America.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
you read the headline, you read a sentence, and that's all you care about.
And you're the Canadian who
he's like, he read Super Mario and he's like, oh man, new Mario. He doesn't even bother looking past it. It's like a pizzeria he's looking at.
And you guys are the ones that are here to tell me it's fake news. I get it. I get where you're going with this. I get where you're going with this. No, I'm saying like initially I thought the story was obvious. We're either getting GameCube game announcement for Christmas, like, you know, or we're getting Smash Brothers next year, and they're just like testing the waters and getting the architecture in place for it. I mean, now what you're saying makes more sense. If it's like there's flaws with it, it doesn't work right, it attaches weird. And
well, I mean, it literally doesn't even have enough buttons, so it's not even like it would work with. Well, I wouldn't say it wouldn't with most games because it depends on the game, but I mean, they can't like really support it other than like a select games.
But I mean, nobody thought that you're supposed to be using GameCube for all the games. I mean, the main rumor, the main crack smoking theory was that it's for Smash or for GameCube games.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
You know, it's not like anybody was like, yes, they're letting us use our GameCube controller instead of a Pro controller or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's not, because that was my first thought. I don't own a Pro controller yet because they're so gosh darn expensive, and I don't have any specific reason to need one.
I don't think they're that good, to be honest. I've never used mine.
Don't tell me that.
Wow.
I mean, if you have giant hands like my younger brother, then yeah. But like, I love my Joy-Con, dude.
I love my
don't tell me that. I'm buying a custom one. I'm still waiting for it. It's gonna cost like 2 Pro controllers.
Matt, I've heard everybody says they're the most awesome controller ever. So
I think it'll be. I like the Wii U Pro controller, so it's basically the same, but apparently better. So
yeah, me too. So like, it's for me, it's painful not to have one, but I just haven't run into a game where I'm like needing it. Yeah.
So I just want it because Smash is going to come out eventually, so I know I'll at least use it for that.
I totally agree. That's when I'll buy it, if not before. Like that's all I'm waiting for. That I'm like, I'm not a GameCube player for Smash because I didn't learn on that. So for me, it's not like heresy like for Mike, where it's like it's GameCube or die kind of thing, you know. So it's just like, but I do love the Pro controller for Wii U. Like you said, I own 3 of them for God's sake, you know. Like so, it's like, yeah. Well, I mean, I had a lot of friends over to play Smash all the time, so you had to have them. So, and you know, and I wore them out. I really pray that the Pro controller is a little more durable, because I talked about it a long time ago on this show, but like 2 of my Pro controllers, because of like jabbing the control stick left and right for like dashing, and for like when you need to wiggle the control stick violently for any reason in any game, like the dash and smash doesn't work anymore on 2 of my controllers. So anybody, and it's not even just like a real nerd noticing it. It's like my friends like just notice it casually when we're playing Smash. They'll be like, there's something wrong with my controller. Like you won't be able to walk at the right speed. Like the sensitivity is wrong, because it gets worn out pretty fast. And it pissed me off because those are expensive, and I tried to fix them and I just couldn't. Like they were not fixable items. So I'm really praying the Pro controller has like better internal hardware, because they're way too expensive for that to be happening. Like just way too expensive. So yeah. Anyhow, wah.
Funny story. I have 3 GameCube controllers. I got it for like Christmas or whatever, and I only needed 1 or 2 at most. And then sometimes when friends came over, I'd use a third. And the third one, which is the purple one, like barely got used, except for like one person. It has to been used of like a handful of times, and it's like the most janky version of them all, because he used to like just jam on the controller and wail on it so hard. I'm like, great, you used it like 3 times, it's broken.
Oh man, I would have lectured him. If someone's at my house, I would give him a talking to. I'd be like, you can go ahead and bring your own controllers if you can treat them like. Yeah, I mean, GameCube controllers, like good branded Nintendo GameCube controllers, are like, if they're in great condition, Michael will probably be able to speak to that, are expensive now. I mean, like, because Smashers, all you motherfucking Smashers want those controllers, like, you know. So it's like, do you have like a stock?
Like GameCube controller.
Do you have like a stockpile, Mike? Do you have like a closet full of like backup GameCube controllers or what?
No, I'm terrible. I only have like 4, but like no, I've seen a lot of Smashers that have stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's pretty common actually. So
yeah, I would imagine, because if I was like really hard in Smash years ago, I would have been buying them up off eBay. Like I would be buying them like all the time just to get a stockpile, because they're not making any more of them. You know, so it's like, you know.
I'm surprised they aren't making any more, but I mean that's the way. I guess I don't know. Nintendo's weird like that. So
yeah. I know they're like missing a market there. I mean, like they should.
Because if you think about how many people are like in the tournament scene, like would they really be making that much money if they had to like start a production line just for like a couple of hundred people?
I don't know.
If you say like few, like there's gonna be more people buying NES Classics or NES or Super NES Classics, which is going to be a limited run anyway, than there are going to be like GameCube controllers. So it's like like if Nintendo made, I don't know, 5,000 GameCube controllers, that would probably be fine.
They would have to make more than that. You're right. Like, I mean, like that would be absurd.
Like, how much would it cost to start like the production line and do all that just for like a couple of thousand.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
know.
not even.
It's a hard call. I mean, like, yeah, it's a hard call. I mean, like, I can't remember. This is a dumb question, but what was this? Okay, so when Smash, I have a GameCube controller adapter for my friends, and I have 3 GameCube controllers just that are mine from back in the day and stuff here. But like, was there any with Wii U, like Wii U Smash Bros. When the GameCube adapter came out, there were no add-on third party, or there was no. This is such a dumb question, but Nintendo didn't release any kind of GameCube controller at the time, did they? It was only the adapter, right?
No, they did release like a Smash Brothers GameCube controller.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. When the
Okay. It was
game
just
first
as
came
limited.
out.
Yeah, it was super limited. That's why I couldn't remember. I was like, but they did do it.
Yeah,
your
it came
point.
out with, if you bought like the big bundle, it came out with like the GameCube adapter and a controller. But like I felt like the controllers weren't as good. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like them as much as like the original GameCube one. You know.
Right. I mean, Matt, that's almost like they would have the sales numbers on it because that sold out like crazy. We all remember that. Like now that you reminded me of it, like we all remember that. I'm like, you couldn't get them. That's why I never saw one. That's why I don't remember it that well. It's like, wait, my brain was saying, wait, didn't they just make one recently? You know, like, you know, and it's like they did, and it sold well, but they would have to be the ones to answer that question. Like, why don't we make more of those? Like, do they think that, are they thinking like you? Or are they just being typical Nintendo where it's like, we don't care.
Yeah,
probably
think
being
most of
typical.
the time it's usually that. Like,
Like they, like I think it wouldn't be. I don't think there'd be much of a point starting a production like now, but they could have kept going before and probably sold like more because they. I mean, they decided to start it up to begin with, so why not let it run for a bit longer? But apparently,
like
not.
maybe with.
They'd have to wait until like
that.
Smash comes out again if they were going to do that, because doing it like any other time before then would not be worth it.
Agreed. That makes sense. I mean, they should make more of them this time so people can actually buy them because, like, I remember now that we're talking about it that there was like shortages and everyone wanted it and you couldn't get it. You had to like pre-order it, and even if you did, you might not.
Yeah, dude. Like eBay scalpers were super hard on it, man.
Yeah, like so, like. I don't know. There's a market there for it. It's how big is it? I don't know. You know, I agree that it's a risky how many people want this. But I mean, even Smash noobs like me that only got into it like in Brawl know that like GameCube is the way to play. Like for a lot of people, you know, that it's like that's, you know, if you want to be a cool kid, you're playing GameCube, you know. That I tried and it just didn't work out for me. And, like I went right back to my Pro controller, but you know,
So it sounds like none of us are actually going to use a GameCube controller for Switch.
Yeah, I like my Pro controller, bro. I mean, I like my Joy-Cons. I lied about the Pro controller. I definitely don't like that. yeah, that's the way to go, man. It's the way to go.
I like my Joy-Cons. If right in front of me I saw like a Splatoon themed Pro controller with those funny colors, I would buy it because I thought those colors are awesome. But you know, like I didn't make an effort to get that, and I wasn't ready to spend that kind of money. So like if I was in a store and I saw one like that, I might be tempted to buy it. Like that, I can be honest about that. But it's not like I'm jumping on eBay looking for one either. No. Like, you know, anything like that. It's like I don't need it right now. It's a lot of money, and we all know they're never going to drop the price on that crap. Those controllers are going to be $70 till the Switch is like dead and buried, and it's like. You know, like I just one more expense that I don't really need right now. So I don't like, I have a lot of problems with my hands. I've talked about before that I wear like wrist brace and stuff, like because of my job is typing on a computer all day long. And so I have a lot of carpal tunnel and wrist problems already. And like, so I wear wrist braces to type. And like the greatest thing about Switch, you know, one of the greater things about Switch is like, I don't have the problems that I have with most of their game systems where like holding your wrists at a certain angle for the controller constantly just irritates my like carpal tunnel type problems. Like because you can just sit any way you want with the Switch Joy-Cons, like I can get some relief, and it's just an awesome thing. And I'm like, oh, I don't have to sit in the same position all the time. I can move my hands around, you know. And that's because for that kind of problem, the main problem is that you don't move your hands enough in different directions. You're always moving them in the same, holding your wrists at the same angle and holding your hands at the same angle. So yeah, I love the Joy-Cons for yet another reason that I'm like, oh my God, this is such a relief kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know,
agreed. And anytime I would want to use like an actual traditional controller, because it would just be better feeling, I would rather just use the Pro controller, because I like the Wii U Pro controller, and I'm not like the GameCube controller is great and all, but the Pro controller I would see is easily better, especially just the shoulder buttons. They don't have you can click them. They don't depress or whatever. I forget, digital, analog, whatever.
Nope.
You have to press a while down on the GameCube controllers triggers. And I know there's benefits in that for Smash, but I'm no tournament player, so I couldn't give two craps. So
I agree.
Plus, like, the controller's bigger and all that. And I'm already getting a custom one, so I can't back out of that now. Can't be like, well, you know, it's a little too... I can't just be like, well, you know what? Never mind. I'll just use this GameCube controller I have instead that's like 15 years old or whatever. Too late. The money's down. I already paid for the controller.
Yeah.
Can't back out now.
It's, you know, you got mad hours on it. It's wireless, so, you know.
Oh, yeah, that too.
That's funny. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I respect that you got this custom controller. I can't wait to see pictures of it when you get this and see what kind of work you got done. That's cool that you're doing that. I love it. I love that you're supporting a game artist or whatever you want to call it. So
it's not like it doesn't have images on it, because I couldn't think of anything that wasn't tacky. But it is like the buttons and stuff are colored, so it'll be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool, man.
All right.
Awesome.
So I think we'll wrap it up there for this week. You can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and VidMe. Mike, where can people find you?
They can't. No, what's up, guys?
You're right.
Yeah. So you guys can find me Gaming Night Live on YouTube or Gaming Night Live on Twitch. So or Troy V7 on Twitter. Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
Cool.
boy. Yeah, boy.
All right, Unoclay, where can people find you?
I am Unoclay_Switch on Twitter, which I don't use a ton, but it's a good way to get in touch with me. It's UNOCLAY_Switch. Sometimes I post gaming-related pictures. I don't spam your news feed, so I'm the kind of person to follow if you don't need another person who just puts up, you know, political commentary or nonsense all day long. It's usually like one gaming photo a week at most, and I try to make a snarky comment, and I have mixed results with that. And I have room for more friends on my Switch, so you can always hit me up and be a Switch friend. And I got a pretty good number going, and I like it mainly because I can see what people are playing and kind of get some data on like what's popular and like what isn't. And I like playing Splatoon with Matt. Sometimes we suck, and I'll put up an offer. Anyone that wants to play what's it called, Matt? The mode we like to play.
Oh, Salmon Run, yeah. Oh, yeah, now we have the video mode, so we can share how bad we're doing.
Oh, good.
Only the last 30 seconds, so I mean, we won't have to embarrass ourselves too much.
Yeah, we can very cherry pick the data. Like, oh, look how good that kill was, where we worked together.
Yeah, one kill at and there was an accident, like the guy just walked in front.
Yeah, and it looks like it's framed just perfectly, so it looks like we were working together like smart players.
And it's really like some other guy with a sniper, like 10 feet away, got it.
Yeah. Like we got to get it so that we like stand in front of a sniper, and the guy just blows up like right in front of us, so we look awesome. Yeah, like because we're champs in this game. We could really use some extra players that like know what they're doing to like give us a little bit of like give us a leader. We need a leader. Matt's the slasher.
I'll help you guys out. I'll get that soon. Even though
we want you, Matt. We want you, Mike. We want you on our team.
No, I know. I want it. I've been lazy on my Switch, but like come Christmas holiday, I'll be
all right.
I'll be salmoning and squidding and kidding, whatever you can do.
that's half the game, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, you'll like Salmon Run, man. Salmon Run's super fun. It's real intense, and it's super fun with a team that you're just like, and it's hard. Like, don't be tricked. Salmon Run has got some challenge to it. It's a real challenging mode since they force you to use the weapons that aren't your comfort zone. You know, it's a fun, unique mode that you're like, oh man, like in every couple seconds you're changing weapons. Where
oh man, I got the sniper. Let's hope.
Like, oh no, I got
the run isn't that bad this time.
But then like the next second you're a hero because you got the blaster and you're like running around like leading the team. You know, it's fun because it's forcing you to get outside your comfort zone. That's also why I think we suck abysmally because I'm like, oh my god, I got anything but the regular gun. Like this stinks. You know. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, hit me up and great talking to you guys as always. So great stuff.
Cool. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions or interest as a guest. Screw it, I'm cutting that out. Oh, man.
No. Sorry, man. We almost had it perfect. You know? That intro.
Leave gaming to Nintendo.
There you go.
NIN10DOH. Got it.